Bob, we still have a Major League Baseball strike in action.
Yeah. And I told you it was going to be a while, because when the owners lock you out, when the players strike, they're just trying to get the owners to bend, and then the owners bend. But when the owner gets, together with the other owners and they're just like, no, that's when it's going to be a while. And they were in a meeting 15 minutes the other day and walked right out the door. One Met player said, I've had longer bats than that thing, So it didn't go far. It didn't do much. And there's not going to be a spring training. And let's hope that they're back by April, whenever they start. But I don't know. It doesn't look good.
You think we're going to end up with a partial season?
I think you'll end up with a partial season, because baseball doesn't look. The last thing these sports teams now need to do with everything going on in the world is to go on strike. It's the worst thing. And I do think they'll come together eventually. But will it go the whole year? No. Look, the only strike that ever went the whole year was the 1994 strike. That's the only one. And they've had many. And the Montreal Expos were the worst off for it, which I actually just heard people talking on the radio about them, how they would have won it. Yankee fans all think they would have won. No. The Expos were stacked. They would have won it. They would have stopped that Atlanta 15-year run of winning the division. Because when that strike hit in August, the Braves were 6 games out in August. They were not catching them. I mean, they had Larry Walker, who we saw, made the Hall of Fame this year. We were up there. They had Pedro Martinez. He was on there, and Randy Johnson. They were teammates on that team. And they were young, so forget it. No, nobody was beating that team. Then Guerrero, he was young. The father, Vlad, they were stacked. So no way.
So in an alternate universe where the Expos were able to go on their run and win it, do you think they would have still been a team? They would have stayed in Montreal
if they had won it. I don't know. They just didn't have, people didn't come out, and they weren't making money. That would have helped them, though. Maybe kept them there longer. That's possible. Would they have stayed forever? I don't know, because the owner didn't have a lot of money and a lot of fan base. There wasn't. A lot of people were sad when they left, though, but not enough apparently. And then all the fans went to Toronto. Now everybody in Canada is Toronto. The only fans that Canada has now is Toronto and the Truckers. That's it.
Speaking of the winter sports, have you been following the Olympics at all?
You want to fill us in on that, Rob?
It's been tough to sit and watch the Olympic Games when there's nobody in the stands.
Right, exactly.
These events, especially the indoor events where you'd have filled up stadiums, the skating, the hockey, you're just in empty, cavernous buildings, and it just takes the energy right out of the competition, in my opinion.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I've been recording some, catching some. It was a devastating loss for the Americans. I don't think they had any business losing in overtime to Slovakia, but they gave up a tying goal with under a minute, and that was it. They're knocked out. Yeah. It's over. And I figured they were a lock for the final because they had beaten Canada in the prelims.
They beat Canada, right? Yeah. I mean, and once you beat Canada, you should be a lock. I mean, Canada, that's like their personal trophy. So, I mean, but, hockey's funny because you can outplay a team the whole game and still lose it on one freak play or one freak shot.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I pretty much for the most part disregard the seeding of the playoffs because,
right?
I mean, anything could happen.
Well, the NHL proves that. I mean, nobody, the best record never wins in that. The President's Trophy never wins, pretty much. Once that playoff starts, it's funny. My brother told, and soccer is the exact same. It's the same way. My brother told me when he was at UCLA, there was this kid. He did not play. He was on a soccer team for 4 years, but did not play all 4 years. And UCLA was the number one team in the nation that year. And they get to the final game, and our star tears his leg. And so they had to put this kid in that hadn't played in 4 years. He hadn't gotten a goal his whole career. And the score was 0-0 in overtime. And the damn kid went out there and scored the game-winning championship goal. And that just goes to show you, you don't know in this sport. You don't know, Rob Stone. hockey and soccer. You can outplay. You can outshoot them the whole game and still losing a freak goal. You can, because it's so hard to score. That's why. Because there's a goalie standing in front of you.
And they have a thing called offsides, which I'd like to see banned.
What, in hockey, you want to see offsides banned?
I'd like to see offsides in both hockey and soccer removed, especially soccer.
Really?
I mean, they can walk up almost half the field. Oh, offside, you got behind him
Right.
before the ball was there. I mean, it's nonsense.
Right. No,
I'm pretty much assuming I'm in the minority opinion on that, but it baffles
maybe
me
not,
why.
Rob. Maybe not. You know, we
I mean, who cares if the hockey player gets in a better position? So
Right.
what? Cover the space. I mean, I would like to see hockey and soccer offsides gone.
Wow. So speaking of hockey, what's your Islanders doing?
It's not a losing record this year, Bob. It's not going too hot. Opening segue of the new arena, but again, they've had COVID issues and delays, and as Eke pointed out, they're getting older. It's an older squad, and they needed to capitalize these last 2 years, and they ran into the buzzsaw known as the Lightning. But
who's still playing good? They've had
quick,
injuries
I just
too.
want to comment.
Good, right?
The U.S. is in third place as it stands for the medal count, and there's only 2 days left. So maybe we could take. I don't know if we can catch Norway, but we might be able to overtake Germany.
Well, Norway is the number one most gold medals for the Winter Olympics ever. We've never done all that great in the winter. Summer, nobody can touch us, but winter. I mean, Canada because of the hockey, Norway because of the snow and the Olympic events in the snow. They're better at it, and they've always been better at it. The northern countries are better at it. So, but we hold our own to it, for the most part. We do. There's only 2 days left. Is that what it is? Right.
Only 2 days, and we trail by a single medal to Germany. We would need a couple goals to surpass them.
Okay.
But I'm looking. It looks like the Lightning are making a run. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10. It seemed like they were down.
No, see, you know what?
Panthers were still having a great year.
They were down in the beginning, Rob. But I noticed when they're down, it's not like other teams when they go down. They're still pretty good. Now they've had a lot of injuries and they're still right there. Now they're getting some of their players back, and they're still the champs 2 years in a row, right? So
yeah, you can't count them out. I mean, they're right there. They're right behind the Panthers by.
I was going to say Florida, right? Yeah. What's my Bruins record? You said it was really good.
It's not even. It's like a half game behind the Panthers, so they're right there. The Bruins are 48-27.
Mm-hmm.
With 17 loss.
They started slow, and now they're playing well.
Correction. The Bruins are 27-17.
Okay.
And they seem to be a little bit behind in the game count. They probably had COVID things too.
Well, we just had Bergeron get suspended for 6 games, so that didn't help. He's appealing.
The Panthers are 33-10. Lightning 32-11. I mean, they're right there.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what? Are the top of the Metro. They're 31-12.
If they can get enough of their players back Tampa Bay, or if they've already got them, there's no reason to think they won't win again. There really isn't. They can beat Florida. They're better than Florida. I mean, I could see it again. They're that good. That would be a dynasty 3 years in a row, right?
Yeah, I'd prefer that not to happen. I'm okay with their back-to-back wins, but
right.
I'd like there to be. Let's leave the dynasty stuff to the Islanders rafter, okay? You hear that, Mr. E? Let's simmer down with this Lightning stuff, okay?
Oh, don't tell your friend that. He'll be upset.
Yeah, he'll get over it. So that's kind of where hockey's going. And I'm not going to mention that other New York team that's doing pretty well. Hopefully they just flame out. But
the Rangers?
Who?
Oh, those guys, yeah.
Yeah, those guys. We don't talk about them. But anyways, going to how's UCLA doing in the college basketball, Bob?
Well, we seem to the last couple of games we weren't shooting very well, and I've been saying that our coach just doesn't coach offense enough, and we're losing road games. At home, we're fine. We can't be beaten at home, but you know what? We're gonna have to worry. I watch out for Arizona, Rob, because my brother can see them only losing 2 games all year, and so can I. They actually have the assistant coach that was with Mark Few all those years. He's their head coach now instead of Miller. And they have a good recruiting class, and they're playing out of their minds. We did beat them, though, at UCLA. We did. But they're tough, really tough. And you got to watch out for them. But UCLA's 18-5. We're fine. And we're going to be right there at the end. And SC's 21-4. So that conference is pretty, they're picking up for where they left off in that tournament last year when all those teams were winning. They had a great tournament at the Pac-12. And they're doing pretty well this year, all of them. So we're fine. And I just read the other day where they had a long talk with the coach and extended practice. And so I think things are getting to look a little more brighter for us. So that's good. How's
You're
the
18-5. I mean, you're
Yeah.
fine. You'd have to have some weird calamity collapse. It's not going to happen.
I looking at the top 10, I haven't seen Baylor much, but they're good. So you have to worry about, and they had injuries. A couple of their guys are hurt and they're still winning. Purdue, I think, is one of the best teams, but they can't shoot foul shots. You know what that's going to do in the tournament, don't you? They better pick it up. And I think
it's going to bite
Coach
you in the
K,
derriere, Purdue, if you keep it up.
right? Was it Coach K the other day that told, or Coach, I think it was Coach K. He told Duke, you ain't leaving until everybody makes 25 foul shots after practice. The whole team has to do it. That's what every coach should do, Rob.
I agree.
Yeah. You should
Free
not
throw
be able
shooting
to-
hasn't been a problem for Syracuse this year. We have some good free throw shooters.
Right. So how you
So
looking?
unfortunately, due to Boston College's new coach's strategy of clutch and grab, doing that scheme where you dare the refs to make the call, and our center got bulldozed by a rampaging guard going into the lane when we played him, and he fractured
they
his
play like
wrist.
the old Detroit Pistons.
Basically, yeah. I mean, just clutch and grab. So he's out for the season. We went on the road to Virginia Tech. We lost a tough one there. We basically got. I mean, we're still in the top half of the conference, but we were probably going to need to win that tournament to get in. Now, too many losses racked up. But the thing is, the ACC is not that good. It's basically Duke's the only good team, in my opinion. I'm not sold on Notre Dame or Miami or North Carolina at all.
No, North Carolina's
And,
horrible. And they're going to stay horrible, too.
I just don't know if we have the depth to make a splash because we don't play our bench enough. But I never count Syracuse basketball out. I could see us making a run maybe. If we could finish, we could still finish in the top 4 of the conference before the tournament starts. If we can get a double bye, I'll feel really good. I don't think we got the horses and the legs to go on any type of run without that extra bye. So we basically need to win out here, get a double bye, and then win that tournament, which is it's tough, especially losing our star center. So hopefully this weekend we just get our revenge on BC for hurting him. And
are you home?
We're home. The first game was on the road, so we should take care of business. We're better than them. And then it won't be long. Just a little over a week. We're playing Duke.
Right.
At home. I'll be there for that game, by the way, folks.
Are you going up to Syracuse for the game?
We should have a packed house. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
we'll give them a game.
I've been there for games. It's fun. But now that's the end of the year? Is that the last game of the year for you guys?
No, I don't believe so. There's probably
coming.
another game or two after. I'm not entirely sure.
There's like 6 games left, I would say. UCLA, 18-5 is 23. You play around 30. Yeah, 6-7 games.
We're in this bunched up because we missed all this time from COVID. Now we're in a really bunched up schedule. So we have Boston College on the 19th tomorrow. Then we have Monday turnaround. We have Georgia Tech, Wednesday Notre Dame, and then Saturday Duke. Then Monday North Carolina, and then finishing up in Miami. So we have a loaded schedule to finish.
Yeah.
That's 6 games in just days. I mean, days. So
now,
we're going to need to use our bench.
Where's the tournament when it's the conference tournament? Where is it?
That's a good question. It might be still in North Carolina, or maybe it's coming back to Brooklyn. I would like to see the conference outbid the Big East, the fake Big East, and get that tournament in Madison Square Garden, because
They should have never took it out. Rob.
Syracuse has completely lost its Madison Square Garden mojo since leaving the Big East.
Right.
And so the ACC tournament is in Atlanta this year.
Okay.
So
that's not far from where you are.
Not right now, but yeah, it's not that far. It's not an unfathomable trip for me, especially if we make a run. I don't think I'll be going the Wednesday slate, but if we can make a push, yeah, I might go. We'll see what happens. The team just needs to play loose. There's nothing to lose at this point. Just play loose, see what happens.
Right. What's your record overall?
13-12.
Oh, okay. Well, you're over 500 at least.
Hey, we just need to keep our eternal 60-year winning streak or whatever it is going. We can't lose that one.
What's that for being over 500?
We have we hold the longest whole record holding consecutive seasons of having a winning season now.
Wow. Yeah. Now, if you're 500, that's not considered winning season. So you got to be above it.
Yeah, we have to be above 500.
You have to be above
I think we will. I mean, I don't see anybody we could beat Boston College, we could beat Georgia Tech. I'm not sold on Notre Dame. I'm just not.
What's their record?
They have a good record. They're like 19-7. They're in second in the conference.
Is it out there?
Carolina, it's out there. It'll be tough on the road.
Yeah, the refs will hose you. That's what they do out
Maybe. There. Carolina will be tough on the road, but we've kind of had their number lately, and I think we get revenge against Miami at home.
Carolina, if you don't beat them, I'll be shocked because they're not very good, Rob. They're not very good. I think
if we need to, realistically, I think it's not beyond the shadow of a doubt to believe that we can go 4-2 to finish. And if we go 4-2 to finish, that's 17-13. That pretty much guarantees the winning season.
Right.
Anything better than that is just gravy, and anything worse is disappointing.
Do you think they'll pick you? Well, say you don't win the conference. Do you think they'll pick you for the tournament?
It depends. Maybe if we have 18 wins, I don't know. I think they want us in the tournament. The ratings speak for themselves. We had the highest rated game of the opening weekend last year. So, we draw. And you got the Boeheim brothers story. There's incentive to put our team and fan base in the tournament, but we got to win.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
So if you're on a bubble, they may give it to you, Rob.
I think so. I think we're in on the bubble. I mean, that Lenard. I think Lenardi, that guy. I think he's only got like 4 ACC teams. Though there's at least going to be 5, even with the conference down. They're not going to leave all those teams out. That's
interesting, Rob, because the ACC now is not as good as it was, and I'm telling you. I know that Coach K handpicked his, successor, but once he leaves, Duke ain't going to be that dominant, and you're not going to get as many kids.
No, I agree. I think Duke is definitely going to take a downturn. No question about it.
Yeah, they want to play for him, and they want to play because he used to win. The minute the coach leaves, they don't want to go there no more, and they could go anywhere they want pretty much now.
I don't know. I don't really have a feel who's the favorite to win this thing. Like you said, I don't see
who's got the best record. Is it Duke?
Oh, it's a good question.
Yeah,
but Duke is 22-4.
Ooh, well, they've got 2 really good players. 2.5, I'd say. Outside of that, they're okay.
I think Baylor's right there again. Right now, Gonzaga's 31-1. I think.
Okay.
I'm just digging up the poll.
The Zags.
So Gonzaga's number 1, 31-1. Illinois is second with 24-7. That's weird.
They're second with 24-7.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Baylor is third, 28-2. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm looking at the USA Today poll. Michigan
is that
number 4, 23-5.
Or is that after somebody got beat?
What's that? I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe they lost 2 games or something with
Illinois.
That's just a weird to have. I mean, that's a 5-game difference to have them ranked. Maybe the Big Ten's getting too much love again. Too much love.
Yeah.
Michigan, number 4, 23-5, recruiting through the roof. I don't think he's a great coach.
Right. I don't know.
Alabama, number 5.
They're not that good. We beat them last year.
Yeah, kind of maybe paper tiger. I'm on the fence with that coach. I kind of want him to be the
wait a minute.
Syracuse coach.
Bruce Pearl?
Not Bruce Pearl. Alabama coach is Nate Oates, the former Buffalo coach.
Okay. Well, Pearl's at Auburn, right?
Yeah, I mean Pearl is
Alabama's mixed up.
He's he's Mr. Shenanigans. That's how he rolls.
Yeah, I know.
So they're crushing it still. Auburn, what is their rank? Where are they? Did they lose a couple games?
Yeah, they did. I think they lost one or two.
Oh, wait a minute. Forget everything I just said. I don't know why this thing came up.
What are you looking at?
I pulled up the wrong poll. It was like a year ago. Okay. Correction on everything.
Okay.
Why would it take me to that? Anyways, Gonzaga is number 1, 22-2. Then it's Auburn, 24-2. Arizona, number 3, 23-2.
Watch out for
Kentucky, 21-5 at 4. Purdue, 5th at 23-4. Kansas, 21-4. Baylor, number 7, 21-5. Providence is number 8 at 21-3.
I love it. That is cool.
It's cool. I don't think they're going to do anything in tournament. Duke, number 9, 22-4. Villanova, number 10, 20-6.
Okay. So Duke is 9th.
Duke is 9th, yes.
See, they're not as good. They've got 2 players, maybe 2.5 players at the best. The rest are just okay. And after Coach leaves, those kids are going to go.
They're beatable. I mean, Syracuse played his worst game of the year and got blown out by them. And I wasn't blown away by Duke. We couldn't make anything. So
now, are they in first place in your conference?
Yeah, they're at the top of the ACC. The ACC is down.
Right, they are down.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, once Coach K leaves, they're going to stay down. Actually, it'll help you. You may be able to get some good players.
Yeah, no, it should help us.
It should help the whole conference. Really.
And then they won't be the darling. They're not going to maintain supreme darling status without Coach K.
No, they won't.
No, they'll get enough buffing from the conference.
But you wait. When the tournament starts, he's going to get a lot of calls, man, more than normal. And he gets a lot anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But he once he goes, they're going to go.
Yeah, Duke's going to take a downturn. No doubt about it.
Sir. Yes, sir. We got a great recruiting class coming in.
So it may be a tremendously fantastical, overwhelming downturn.
Right. And we have a good class coming in. I was just reading about it. Believe it or not, Cronin got him in again. I just wish you'd open up the offense. That's my one knock on him. He's got to stop being so tough on them. It's okay to be tough on players, but he goes to the extreme sometimes. You know what I'm saying? He goes a little overboard.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are in good shape. I mean, you're 18-5.
Right.
I don't know if I pick you for the Final Four, though. I don't know.
Well, that was, you know what? Going in last year, we just got hot. The year before, we got hot too, and then COVID stopped everything. But I don't know. It depends on if they want to play hard and if they shoot well. And then Cronin will make them play D, obviously. So that if they can do that again and share the ball, because I think 2 of their guys, their 2 stars, are taking too many shots now. They forgot that they won because they let everybody do their thing last year. That's what they have to do. If they do that, they can go a long way again. But it's so hard to do, Rob.
Oh,
Who
the tournament is
that Final Four? I didn't know.
Yeah, no one saw that coming.
No, but I was glad, and they really should have got the final game.
They should have won, and I think they would have gave Baylor a better game, honestly.
Yeah. Oh well, I think me and you could have gave Baylor a better game. Gonzaga did nothing. They got trounced.
Which is great because Gonzaga plays in a very low major conference, and they belong in a major conference, and they get their automatic 1 seed. So I'm glad Gonzaga lost.
Well, my brother said that actually hurts their team when they got to play good teams at the end of the year.
Yeah, eventually you're going to hit that buzzsaw because you've been playing Portland State and St. Mary's and whoever else in that conference.
Right.
But anyways, moving on to closing segment here, Bob. NBA action. Looks like the West is going to win this year.
It does look that way. Last night, the Bucks, they went out. They were playing at home. I know Philly's good, but they lost to them. And then Philly the night before plays Boston and Philly, and Boston wins by 47 points. The Bird teams never did that. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I thought I was seeing things. The Celtics were playing good, and then the Celtics go home, lose to a 12-win Detroit team by 1 point. I understand 2 of their players were hurt, but come on, Detroit won 12 games. Just stay away from the threes and stop hogging the ball. Let everybody get involved and make the extra passes. When they were winning those 9 in a row, that's what they did. That was Celtic basketball the old days. They stopped doing it. They lost the game. And they never get it. They never get it, these guys. If you're winning, you keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. And But Phoenix, nobody's going to be Phoenix, Rob. Even when they play lousy, they win. I believe they're like 48-10 or something like that.
That is correct, Bob. They are 48-10, and your Celtics are right there. They're 6th in the standings. They're not. If they keep rolling, they're going to be a lock for the playoffs.
They actually should be 15 games over. They lost a couple of games to the Knicks this year. They should have won. And
the Suns are really rolling. They're 9. They've won 9 out of 10. Their road record is unbelievable. They've 22-5.
That's exactly right. You have a great road record if you're 500 or slightly above. You're 22-5. They should just be giving you the trophy and calling the season over now,
and the Warriors are right behind them. They're doing well,
but they have issues this year. They're having trouble with the center, and Clay's finally back. But you can see, they're trying to find themselves. But Portland is already. They know who they are, and they play down low. They play like the old way, the way the game's supposed to be played. They have the big man and the whole thing, and that's how you win championships.
And the Grizzlies are having a great year.
And then, of course, last night I wanted them to win, and of course they lost at home. But the referee, listen to this, the referee blew the whistle 45 times on them in one game. At home. When did you ever hear that? They took the game right away from them. But they still should have won. They played a lousy team at home. But they're having a great year. Morant's an amazing player. And the Knicks are crying because they didn't get him.
I thought this was the year the Knicks were going to have a glorious run. I see they're 12th in the Eastern Conference with a losing record, 2 of 8.
They're going to run right home. They're going to run right home. That's what they're going to run. But the Knicks are a clown show. I've been telling you this for years. The Garden is, to me, Madison Square Garden. They say the most famous arena in the world. For what? Losing. Think about the teams that played there. Knicks, losers. Rangers, losers.
One more time, Bob. Rangers, what?
Rangers. They're good now, but how many years? Losers. 1940, 1995. That's what's that? 55 years.
94, Bob. 90. Yeah, it's one cup in like 90 years almost.
I'll still call it 55 years because you got to count each year that you play.
Oh, okay.
Not like so. The 55 years of losing. But Knicks 50 going on 50 years of losing. How about that? What else was there? That was a clown show. Actually, they used to have the circus there, which was fitting. Right? They always had Barnum Bailey Circus at the Garden. That's fitting. The place
Syracuse won a couple of Big East tournaments there. That was fun.
Oh, they did. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But Connecticut, they won some games. You know what?
But they lost the biggest game.
Hey, you know what?
The 6 overtime game, folks.
Yeah, that was a wild game. I watched that game. That was a great.
It was fun, Bob. That was a lot of fun.
Were you there?
They throw the 4 titles in our face, and we just point to the 6 overtime game.
Right. Were you there for that game?
I couldn't get in, foolishly. I should have forked over the money. I didn't want to spend it because there were more games to go, and I didn't. And I ended up watching at my friend's apartment.
That was an amazing. That was a fun game to watch. That was a great game. But but the whole to me, New York is like the house that has a frame, but when you open the door, there's nothing there. It's like you're in the forest because that's just how it is.
Well, the Garden is where the other team
at the
stars
same time, it's really not.
I mean, Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, they all played well there. Kobe played great there. I mean,
you'll play well there if you play for the other team.
Yeah, exactly.
Which even makes it worse for New York. It's almost like we're proving that you're fake, and we're going to prove it to you right now. It's just, to me, it's just. I mean, everything's bigger than life, but yet, to me, it's always been fake. I mean, even the lines standing outside of the library were bigger than life. You know what I'm saying? If they're still there, I don't even know. But it's just, why does it got to be that? It's fake. It's a library like any other library in your little town. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just, there's just something about it. It's just, and the Knicks are ridiculous. I love it though, because I'm a Celtic fan and I do not like the Knicks. So.
Oh, the Gummy Rules made a comment. Don't the Knicks and Rangers have to get out of MSG so the city can put the transit station back? Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
The transit station's still there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Penn right underneath there,
but I mean, the old Penn Station was this almost divine infrastructure.
Right.
That you can go look up the old documentary, pictures. It was something surreal, and now you got that cavernous rat hole Penn Station that you don't want to stay there for more than 5 minutes.
Well, no, I'm right. Right. Well. You know what's funny about it? They call it like the greatest arena, but it's really not, because
It's
I
the
do like
world's
the
most famous arena. I
Ram.
might give them
Yeah,
that, but I don't know the greatest. I don't know about that.
yeah, and it is fun to watch a game there. Just
Yeah.
the
Oh, I
seating's
enjoyed a
great,
lot of games there.
but the representatives just aren't great, but they go around like they're great. See, they act like we're in New York,
Oh
no,
yeah, it's like the Rangers fan base. They act like they have a Yankees history. It's like, no, you're like
right,
not even the Jets almost.
right, and that to me is. But you're right. They used to have Penn Station runs right underneath it though. It's just not what it used to be. I mean,
Well, Bob, we're here at the close. Anything lastly to share before we wrap it up?
yeah. Bill Russell just turned 88 years old the other day, and yeah, I know. And I met Casey Jones's daughter, and Casey played with Bill on those Celtic teams. And when we have the big show, I'm going to ask her on and see if we can get Bill on. And I listened to a film clip on Phil's birthday last week, or Bill's birthday, and Phil Jackson came on. And the lady asked him, if you were building a team from any generation, and they were all 21, who would you start with? And here's a guy that coached Jordan. Here's a guy that, coached Shaq. And he went, well, Russell. I wouldn't even think twice. He's the best winner ever. Then he goes, when you won that many times, because I view winning and rings as success. A lot of people don't, but I do. And that's what I've always told you. He's the best. He's better than Jordan. He's way better than LeBron. Bird's better than LeBron. A lot of players are better than LeBron. But he's the greatest. He's better than Jabbar. But Jabbar's up there. He's number 2. So, yeah. And if you don't believe me, believe Phil. I know Phil says a lot of funny, different things. You can look at him and go, what? But this time he was right. So I'm totally agree with that. And hopefully he'll be on our show. That's our aim and that's our goal. So, and we got a big show coming.
And we're sticking to it, folks. So stay tuned, share, like, and subscribe. You know the drill, the usual. And we'll be back next week for another episode. Signing off for the sports show of Bob Spino. This is Rob.
This is Bob.